Hi, I'm Rob Lucas and I directed Memoirs of a Bouncer.
Hi, I'm Ann Akin and I performed in Memoirs of a Bouncer as Tracy.
Cool. So, to you then, did it matter that it was such a short piece to perform? I mean, compared to the longer 2-hour plays or productions that you've been in?
No, not really. I found it almost the same, almost just like doing an extract from a play.
Oh yeah.
Really, and I think because we had such a short amount of time to put the piece together, it felt the same. You know what I mean? Like if I had 3 weeks to do a production that was longer, it was just the same as having a few days to do a short piece.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. How long was it that you had? I can't remember.
2 days.
Was it 2 days? Wow.
Yeah.
Did well for that. Yeah. Fortunately, you're a quick line learner.
Yeah. Very fortunate.
I actually remember that we actually had a problem because we couldn't find anyone to do the female part. We had the male part fine. I think Mike, who was the bouncer in it, I think he had a week or 2 weeks to learn his lines because I think he had a lot more to do because he was essentially 2 characters.
Yeah.
And then we were just panicking and we were like, oh my god, we need to get this done.
Yeah.
And you'd emailed in before, hadn't you, saying that you were interested, so we thought, oh well, let's try.
Try my luck.
Luckily it worked. Fantastic. How did you rehearse with Mike in that 2 days?
We rehearsed over the phone. We did like line runs over the phone.
Oh yeah.
The day before. Yeah, the day before.
Yeah. Was that all right to do? Did that work as a rehearsal, or would you have liked a bit more time with him? It
was fine for me. I think because it's so easy for me to learn lines just due to the fact that I have a photographic memory. So it was just good to have someone to bounce off. Yeah. I knew his intonations or how he would say a certain line. Where before, when I didn't have him, it was a bit harder because I wasn't too sure how he was going to actually perform it.
Yeah.
You know, even though I couldn't see his face, it was just good to have him there. You know.
Well, it's one thing me telling you where you're standing and what he's doing.
Yeah.
And like standing there as him, but it's another thing actually having him there.
Yeah, precisely.
Because I remember that we had to cut a little bit as well. There was some bits that just weren't working, so I rewrote a few bits.
Yeah, we did. I think maybe because I've been dancing for so long.
Oh yeah.
It was just, you know, as soon as you said, right, even when Mike wasn't there, I'm going to be heading this, I kind of memorised it like a routine. Yeah. So I knew what I was, it didn't really matter that Mike wasn't there, because I knew on this line I'm saying this, oh, I'm going to this position. I memorised it as a routine.
Oh, I see.
So it kind of...
Yeah. As a dancer then, just on a tangent here, is that how you can learn a particular dance? Can you do it on your own, even though it's an ensemble dance?
Yeah.
You can just...
Well, that's just me personally. I'm not too sure. The fact that I have a photographic memory just makes learning anything really easy for me. Yeah. So.
Oh, excellent. Fantastic. How did you feel performing in such an intimate space? Because we performed it in the bar itself. It was part of the launch party. And even though we tried to mock up a stage and some seating in front of you, it was really like close knit. You didn't have much space to work with at all anyway. How did you find that?
I loved it. I really like having the audience interaction, and even in silence you can just feel the presence.
Yeah.
It gave me an extra buzz. I feel like regardless I would have performed it differently when it was the actual performance, but having them so close to me, it just kicked me up like to a different level than I was before.
Yeah. Just
having the presence. I really enjoyed it. I'm not too intimidated by intimate.
You don't react badly to seeing faces.
No, I don't.
A lot of actors, it's strange. A lot of actors do. They sort of tell me. They said they perform fine if they are blinded by lights. If they can't see the audience, they can do absolutely fine because they know where they are and that's all they need to know. But other actors like yourself say they need the people there. They need to know they're performing to people. Yeah. Otherwise, what's the point of doing it? You know, unless it's a camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how do you approach such a caricatured role as Tracy? Because she wasn't very naturalistic in the way she was written, and she was very EastEnders.
Yes, it's funny because me and my friends, we kind of have a Tracy character that we do.
Oh, okay.
Kind of when we're just messing about, be like, "You alright? Oh, darling." Do you know what I mean? So it was just like, as soon as I got the script, it literally just came from inside me. It's my inner Tracy popped out, I didn't really have much time to really, you know, break down the texts and do things like that. But it's just, I'm just lucky enough that I always have that character that me and my friends mess about with.
Yeah. I think most actors have got that. They tend to fall back onto that caricature. Because it doesn't, most acting, especially things like Brecht, who does the more epic theatre. Because I found the piece, even though it was obviously very modern, had a real Brecht feel about it, because it was to the audience. You regard the audience, then you regard the person on stage. You could have almost done it with masks, and it wouldn't have detracted from the text itself. And I really liked the fact that it was also caricatured. It was also larger than life, because with that kind of script, you needed it to be. It couldn't be done naturally.
No.
Otherwise, you wouldn't get the punchlines, and it wouldn't have worked so well. So, all in all, did you enjoy it?
I loved it. Yeah? I really, really did. And I think I also loved the fact that it was so quick. Everything, from getting the script to learning the lines to rehearsing to performing, literally was
2 days.
2 days. And I just really, really enjoyed it. I loved the audience being so close. I thought I had an amazing character to play. She was so funny. And I could just do whatever I wanted and make an absolute fool out of myself, being such an outrageous character. And she was amazing. And I said the most ridiculous things. It was brilliant.
I know, like you say, as a director, I loved it. I asked the writers, Paul and Michael Clarkson, to write a couple of things for the launch, and it was Memoirs of a Bouncer and something else, which I won't say in case we use it later on. And Memoirs of a Bouncer stood out to me as being the thing that would work best. It didn't rely too much on what do you call it, modern references so much, or TV or stuff, so that more people would understand some of the jokes. And as a director, I love the fact that, like you say, like it was quite rushed, and you get that pressure on you. But I actually really enjoyed that. I don't usually, if it's a theatre production, I like to have it planned. I like to think, right, we have the theatre from 9 to 5. We're going to get this done, this done, this done. Yeah. Whereas with this, I think because it was in a bar and it was a little bit more relaxed, it felt like raw performance. Yeah. You know, it didn't feel so glitzy, which is kind of where performance started. It was supposed to be, you know, for the common man, etc. It was how it was done, you know, like in the Globe Theatre, a load of people shouting at the Shakespearean characters. So I really like the fact that in 2 days' time we hammered it out, got it all together. I think I only worked with you and Mike on the day. I think that was the first time you ever met him on the performance day. Yeah, it was. Literally about 4 hours, or even that, 3 hours before you performed it. I remember Mike was there, glugging a glass of wine, sort of saying, I'm going to forget the lines. I'm going to forget the lines. Yeah. It was, it was definitely great. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed doing it.
I think obviously it wasn't idyllic, the rehearsal process and stuff, but I think it suited the piece. Yeah. Because it was rough and not tidy, the characters and just the scenario and what happens in the piece. So I think the fact that it was so rough, it really
like you say
played
that,
well.
I like you say that, because it struck me the same kind of thing, that the fact was it was set outside a club and we were performing it in a bar. Kind of just made sense. It made the whole thing stand out a little bit more. Yeah. And the audience reacted to that. I think you heard that they just loved it when you were performing it. I mean, there were key parts of it that I was worried about, and I thought, well, they might not get that, and they might not hear that. And they did, and they really enjoyed it. And I think it was because everyone had a glass of wine in their hand. And it was a genuinely hilarious script. Yeah. You know, and the way it was performed was really, you know, did it justice, because it could so easily have been done wrongly. Yeah. I don't think that kind of thing really would suit a big theatre. I think it's such an intimate piece anyway. It's about two people, and it's about, even though the bouncer is a very caricatured character as well. Yeah. I think that he's he's the audience. He's the person you feel empathy with, and you think, oh god, that bitch Tracy, etc. Yeah. And I think you need that small environment, that small atmosphere around you, of faces looking at you and really enjoying it. So I know I did from the back, just watching on. I just felt like, oh, you know, it really worked. It kind of clicked, and it's one of those pieces that I thought kind of hit the nail on the head quite well. Yeah. Well, thank you very much. You're welcome. And yes, listen back soon.